The objective of this presentation is to use Quentin's characterization to portray meaning in the novel.
At the start of Quentin's narration on page 76, he immediately delves into a discussion of his family's deterioration through time. Quentin notes his grandfather's watch, passed down to him by his father, representing a change in society's new moral code and ideals. Quentin also alludes to the shadow which symbolizes the past, in which it haunts and follows him throughout his life as a constant reminder of his family's old Southern code. As the page continues, time is a recurring motif, displaying a shift of values through generations. Quentin then notes his relationship with his sister, Caddy, in which her belief in new values and promiscuity stains the family name, which torments Quentin. This page exemplifies the prospect of time and how it has affected Quentin and his family. Ooh, that's money.
Soon after, on page 81, Quentin foreshadows his impending suicide by telling the reader that he is only packing necessities for Caddy's wedding. Aside from his eventual suicide, this event also represents the death of the old family name, with the old values being packed away and a new future emerges. As the narration progresses, Quentin's stream of consciousness alludes to shadows repeatedly, which is a common motif throughout the novel, one that displays the past that continuously follows him. Also, the symbols of clouds and mirrors represent a lack of clarity in the family code of ideals as Quentin reflects upon Caddy's significant marriage. Finally, the stream of consciousness includes 5 uses of the verb running, clearly symbolic of Caddy's attempt to escape from the old South values.
When Quentin recalls a time speaking with his father on page 124, he remembers discussing Caddy and Benji, trying to protect the family name, although Mr. Compson tells Quentin not to take himself too seriously. Quentin then views the buggy as a way to preserve the past, igniting his obsession with their Southern moral code, but he realizes and struggles to cope with the idea that these values are beginning to fade away. When in his stream of consciousness, Quentin challenges his reasons for going to school at Harvard, which symbolizes an advancement in the new social status of the Compson family as the ways of old begin to deteriorate. Faulkner uses the color white to show purity and contrasts it with dust to show the tainting of ideals, which Quentin constantly struggles to comprehend and deal with as he obsesses about the past through the motifs of time and shadows. Finally, as the page ends, Quentin's consciousness shows the overall separation of his family within the chaos they experience and how the ideals of old are dying as Caddy and the new Northern ideals is becoming prevalent in society.
Page 175 reiterates a few of the recurring themes from throughout the novel. For example, in the first paragraph, Quentin references looking through colored glass. Obviously, it is harder to see through colored glass than through clear glass, indicating that Quentin may be struggling to look to the future and forget about the past, a common quality of prideful Southerners in the post-Civil War era. Then, a few lines down, Quentin shifts his stream of consciousness to an issue regarding female morality. The combination of a lack of a solid mother figure and his feeling of losing purity through Caddy likely add to this comment that women use other people's honor codes, with those other people being men. This comment demonstrates his confusion with his own values in this time period, as his obvious attachment to Caddy conflicts with his statement that women are naturally honorless. Next, towards the end of that page, Quentin notes that Uncle Maury kept his father's belief in the celestial derivation of his own species, indicating a religious conflict. Quentin, like much of the Old South, takes religion quite seriously, and here alludes to a clash with a more contemporary value. Finally, in the last few lines of the page, Quentin makes an important statement regarding how he was raised, saying, quote, "Father was teaching us that all men are just accumulation dolls stuffed with sawdust." This line indicates that Mr. Compson believes that people are just built on preceding traditions and are unlikely to change their ways. Clearly, the manner in which the family has changed has put a massive strain on the lives of Mr. Compson and Quentin, who are clinging to old values.
Quentin represents 5 important themes in William Faulkner's The Sound and the Fury. First off is his adherence to morals. Secondly is his family's values. Third is jealousy. Fourth is time. And fifth is the deterioration